Grunge became a noun. It seemed a way to pigeonhole a bunch of bands.
Along the way, somebody decided to call it grunge.
What is grunge? Does it involve a flannel shirt?
Hey-oh! Welcome to The Grunge. We are the podcast exploring sex, drugs, and rock and roll, man. I am Joseph Rose.
And I am your co-host, Jerry Wood.
Jerry.
Yo.
Fuck you, man.
Fuck you, Joseph.
What's going on?
It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday, everybody.
We started off, I called Joseph.
I mean, for us, it's a Wednesday. For
them, it's
some other day.
It's whatever we feel like it being.
Yeah.
So I call it, I know we just had a great conversation. Now we're going to go into this. As soon as you hit the button, I'm like, okay, fuck. That's all over.
No, we can talk whatever. Hey,
okay, I loved it.
We can talk more about anything you want.
But we talked about earlier this morning is the Oculus 2099 or whatever the hell what is
It's called the Oculus Quest 2.
The Oculus Quest 2. I had the Oculus 1.
Yeah.
And it really jogged a lot of memories about me owning that thing. You know, it was like, to me, I went to Best Buy and I was like, I knew what I was doing with it. I knew what I was going to do with this thing.
You're going to get stoned and get into a virtual world.
Virtual 4-way.
Pornography.
Oh, it went right to that.
Right to pornography.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that is not even really on the list of why I want the thing.
Okay, well, you're better than most people because that thing, it is vivid, it is beautiful, and recommend it highly. Oculus 2 Quest, please sponsor us.
Now, is there
Talk about all the pornography.
specific porn made for the format, or is it just viewing regular porn?
Well, they make it, and you can get it in in like 4 formats. There's a box version of a VR. There's your standard VR glasses, and then there's the Oculus. The Oculus is just hands down the finest version of that.
Standalone, wireless, not connected
right
to
on
anything.
right on your phone or whatever
Yeah.
you wanted. You have to clip it in. Mine, and I had a pretty recent phone. I had the Samsung 6.
Well, no, this isn't the bullshit one with your phone.
This one, well, I had.
This
the
is a
Oculus
whole
with the phone.
standalone version.
Well, I don't.
I know what you're talking
I
about.
don't trust that, but I like the one with my phone. But it made the phone like super hot.
Oh, okay.
And I can't think of a time when you're more vulnerable than when you have headphones on and one of those things,
Jesus.
and one of those things on your face.
Sorry.
Like watching porn, coming into that, like there's no way to explain that away. You are obviously in the digital world and you are a pervert because you've been caught.
Yeah, that's very true.
Your shoes are beautiful, by the
Thank
way.
you.
They
Thank you.
look
I just
great.
had to switch my shoes, guys. I had the old Vans.
So
Had to switch over to the new Vans.
I don't know what else you do on the
The
Oculus.
new Vans are not even new Vans. I've had them for like a year.
I got some new shoes. I got a bunch of shoes. I went to DSW today. I got some good shoes.
DSW, huh?
Yeah,
nice.
discount shoes, man.
Nice. What else, Jerry? We discussed a little. Oh. Guess this is relevant.
Yeah.
I experienced a little bit of DMT recently.
For the people who don't know, what is DMT?
Dimethyltryptamine.
Right on. Now you know.
It is an organic psychedelic. I've discussed it quite a bit, probably. And I had a little DMT experience. And it was a little DMT experience, I would say. It was short. It wasn't, I don't know, on the scale of DMT experiences. It wasn't wild near the high end of crazy. But that was almost sort of part of it. So I had my little DMT trip. I didn't have a whole lot of very specific intention when I went into it. But I did it. I had my environment set a certain way, and I went ahead into my little DMT experience. And it got underway. It started happening, and I was in it. And I was enjoying it, but some sort of thought came in that was like, I don't know how to phrase it exactly. Like, I think I had a thought, something like, I'm digging this right now, but if most people experienced this, their fucking mind would be blown beyond belief right now, you know? And that's just because I've had a lot of DMT experiences and whatever. And And the moment I had that thought, which was an accidental, innocuous thought, right? It was just a realization of like, this is rad, but man, I bet if people saw this, they would be freaking the fuck out. And that's all it took. And immediately when I had that thought, I reminded myself of, whoa, don't let yourself take this shit for granted. Like, don't let something that is truly so fucking wild become mundane or get taken for granted or, not appreciated. And that immediately blossomed into all these thoughts about being appreciative for things and expressing my appreciation for things and people more often. And reminding myself of what I have to be appreciative for and in the ways in which I'm lucky or privileged or doing okay, despite how often you can, certainly myself, I can let myself get depressed about things or stressed out or this or that or take things for granted over a period of time. And so it was just this whole reminder of that idea. Like, and this happens more often than you might think. Something very literal happens with my DMT trip, like related to my DMT trip. Like I'm seeing a thing and I have a thought, or it doesn't work as well, or this or that. Any just little real life thing that can happen related to that trip. Then, when combined with the effects of the DMT trip, turn into thoughts and lessons and messages and more intangible stuff. But it's valuable information that I've been able over the years to translate into tangible shit that I can use to, I think, improve my life, or the way I feel about it. And that's my story.
Oh, well, that was nice. I talked about 3D pornography, and you just went on an Earth Real trip that said be grateful about people. There you go. I wish I knew there was a theme. I would have said something else.
I'm sorry. Also, fuck you.
No, fuck you.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. Hey, guys, thanks for joining us here today. Whenever it is you're listening to this, maybe on a Monday, whenever, wherever. I don't know when and where you listen because you sons of bitches won't send me pictures of you listening to the show like I've asked for so many times. I have asked all of you guys, send us a selfie.
What are we?
Of you listening to the show in the environment in which you normally listen to the show, wherever that might be, at home, at work, in the car, fucking nude with your partner. I don't care.
Country, anywhere. Just do it. We have 160 something hours of this shit. We're not making enough money. Just send pictures of yourselves.
Yeah, send us pics.
God damn. Just do
Men, women, children, whoever you are.
Don't send pictures of children.
Well, no, I don't mean of children. I'm saying if you're a kid and you listen to the thing sitting on the sidewalk, outside, whatever, just send us a... All right, fine. If you're a kid, don't send us pics.
Yeah, dude, seriously. But by the way, didn't a child just tell me to fuck off?
That's true. We did have a young teenage listener.
A teenage listener said, try harder?
Yeah. He did tell Jerry to try harder. I think he did say something about he's glad you lived.
Yeah, he's happy I'm alive, but I'm not as good as the guy, and try harder.
Right.
Thank you, Charizard, for the well wishes.
So, all right, yeah, I don't know. What was I saying? Thanks for joining us. Today, we are going to be discussing a band that I love so much, and I think you are rather fond of as well.
Very fond.
Faith No More.
Top 5 lead singer in my book of all time.
The album we're going to talk about today is called King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime.
Did you hear why they did? I was listening to an interview as to why they named that.
Why, tell me, Jerry?
You tell me. You have the facts. I just didn't want to. But why they named
go
it.
on.
They said it was more of like you're in your dream state. You're more of a king. You know, like everyone's a fool. You're always going to be a fool. You know, but in private moments and subconscious moments, much like we're talking about with the DMT, like you talked about, like in these little moments, you're sort of a hero. Then you wake up. And then you're just really, and then real life intervenes.
I don't know that I would say that, but
there's shining moments in everyone's life.
Sure,
but it was like I never thought. I thought that it's not a made up term. They didn't make that up. That's always been a thing, you know.
What?
King for a day, fool for
yeah,
a lifetime.
Oh yeah, sure.
You know, and that's always been a thing. But the way they explained it, I was like, oh, all right. No, that makes sense. And if you listen to the lyrics of this album, there's some biting shit on this.
Yeah.
You know, like some well, I won't go into the songs because there's my favorite Faith No More songs on this.
Oh yeah. So when and where did this album enter your life?
Well, after Angel Dust, it was hard not to get the second album, the other album.
So you were just on board for Faith No More from that point.
And in '95, and then I discovered Mr. Bungle. So that's when my Mike Patton thing. And again, this is hip hop. Mike Patton invaded my hip hop life. I'm wearing an Ice Cube shirt today. You know, I mean, like I love hip hop, and so somehow Faith No More shunted their way into that.
Shunt.
I got that word from a movie called Society. Where they just sort of melt into people at the end. And
Wow.
Just watch guys, do yourself a favor, go on YouTube, look up Society, Shunt, and you will see the craziest shit you've ever seen in your life. It's sweaty, it's milky, it's very weird. There's a huge finger. Get used to it. But get down with that. But yeah, man, that's when I found him. Just Mr. Bungle led into that album. Because they had an album previous, 1990, I forget when that was, fuck it.
Okay, Jerry. Okay, you want to know about some stuff? Whoa.
Don't we have to talk about the website and stuff?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Jerry.
All right, I'm just saying.
Yeah, we do.
I also have
You have some information?
I have the setting of the scene information.
All right, well, before we get into any stuff, before I forget, let me just tell you the business. All right, guys, go ahead and visit thegrungepodcast.com. It's got links to the fucking Instagrams, Twitter, Facebook, but the one you really need to pay attention to, guys, is the button that says some version of join the Patreon. You want to click that, you go over there and you give some money. And on our Patreon channel, we do bonus episodes. It's weird to have to say this every time because I feel like we're just saying it to the same people, but obviously new people join.
We have to act like this is a new show every time.
Yeah, so
not act.
We have a great Patreon where we do really no bullshit, a stupid amount of bonus episodes. No podcast does what we do.
No podcast does it.
No one in their right mind would do the amount of shit that we do.
A Patreon is supposed to be little bits of backstory.
Yeah, it's a little extra something.
Little something.
It's a little extra.
You're paying the monies to hear that and perhaps get your name shout out once.
Our main show is on the Patreon, and then we treat this as basically a little advertisement.
No.
Like this is the little extra stuff.
We're building value, but like we have more of an intimate.
Patreon's better.
Yeah, Patreon's better, but there is an intimacy that comes with this. These Zoom meetings are like the same people and new people every time.
Yeah, Jerry will get his dick out on the Zooms that we have with these patrons.
I better have my VR goggles, my headphones, and I will.
So, all right, join the Patreon, get a shit ton of bonus episodes and all kind of Jerry business. Mm-hmm. What do you got over there, little Jerry?
So this album came out in 1995, March 28th of 1995.
Well, I guess I'm not going to read that bit of information.
Yeah, well, that's why we sort of have to learn how to structure this.
It's all right. All right, well, hold on. All right, just in case you're going to ruin a lot of my information,
Sure, go ahead.
Let me mention a couple things.
Good.
We have an upgraded patron.
Oh.
We were just talking about Patreon. Look at that.
I did not know that.
Segue. We don't have a brand new patron, but an upgraded patron. So this person found so much value on the $5 tier that they willingly chose to upgrade to take advantage of the perks of the $10 tier. Mm-hmm. And one of those perks, she's taken advantage of right off the bat. Ms. Darcel Ruff has taken it upon herself to join the $10 tier, and she's already requested an album. I'm not going to say what it is right now. It's not that time.
Yeah.
But she has put in her request. On the $10 tier, you get to request an album, any album in the world from any time, and we'll do a whole episode about it, just like this, you know?
At your own risk.
At your own risk. So, Darcel, we love you. You're the greatest.
Thank you, Mrs. Darcel.
Thank you. We're gonna do that album, and we're gonna do it in just a little bit. Should I read letters, or do you want to do information?
Read letters. I mean, read the letters, and we'll set the scene.
We got a few listener emails. I think I have just 3. Mike Hallfelder. First, let me say I love the podcast. My 2 favorite bands are Alice in Chains and Soundgarden. I still to this day can't pick one of them over the other. I love the vocal harmonies of Alice in Chains and love the odd feel of Soundgarden songs. From a technical playing ability, I would take Matt Cameron over Sean Kinney, just my opinion as a drummer. I would take Chris Cornell over Lane as I love Pete Cornell vocals. Anyway, it's just an idea for an episode if you guys were to compare these two bands, as I think they were the best bands to come out of Seattle.
We never had a versus. We've talked about them fighting each other and who would win.
Who came out on top on our who would win in a
I
fight?
think the drummer from Alice in Chains, I think.
No.
So there was Chris Novoselic. I think we had powerhouses. So
I think as a band,
no one from Nirvana survived, and
Right.
I don't think Pearl Jam got through it. I think it was somebody. I believe it was somebody.
I think
from Alice in
as a
Chains.
band, I could be wrong. I have to go back, but I think the final bands it came down to Soundgarden versus Pearl Jam.
Really, Pearl Jam got through. Yeah, those are beefy.
Think
guys.
about it. Yeah,
Beefy
those
cats,
dudes were
yeah.
like
Alice in Chains is pretty wafy, and they
I
were
mean, heroin, the whole
heroin.
deal. And I think I don't remember who won. Maybe it was Soundgarden, but they only had 4 dudes.
I don't know why I always look at the Alice in Chains drummer as like the alpha.
He's the guy to you?
He's the guy who would beat everyone's ass.
Ben Shepard will fuck him up.
Oh, well, we'd have to do it. We'll do a show.
Yeah, we'll see what we can get into. We got another one from Pete Down Under. He says, "Hey, Joseph and Jerry. The Throwing Copper episode was a nice trip down memory lane. I loved the shit out of that album when I was a teen, although I would have to agree with Joseph's view of the band having an adult contemporary vibe. It's been a good 10 years since I listened to the album, and it still sounds okay to me. I've heard Live being referred to as a Christian band, which would explain the non-offensive sound if it is true. I saw these guys at the Sydney Entertainment Center around 1996 during the Dolphins Cry tour, and they were terrible. It's the only time I've seen a support band outperform the main band, and the support band in this instance was Sugar Ray. Read into that what you will. I hope Jerry's feeling better. I'm thinking
you.
of him whilst having a few cold ales on a warm summer's afternoon.
Oh.
Take care."
Thank you, Pete. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Pete.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We've got one.
Sugar Ray outdid Live.
Yeah. Yeah, I would not go to that concert.
That's an album we won't even touch.
There's no part of that concert that you can get me to go to.
I will leave a room if Fly gets played.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need that. This was a good one. Jerry, you're going to love this one. We got one from, I think, a Ms. Danny G. Danny with an I. "Hi, guys. I love the show, and for the first time, I actually watched a couple episodes on YouTube for the hell of it. Joseph is actually pretty cute, and Jerry is kind of cute too, in a weirder way. But I have to say, Jerry, you do need to get your shit together. As
is wrong with this
Joseph
bro?
likes to say, you have a daughter. Anyway, love the show. I'm glad Jerry isn't dead yet. Love, Danny."
Well, thanks, Danny. In a
you,
weird
Danny.
way. Well, you got any send pics?
Danny, tit for tat here. Let's send some pics.
You got me all over you.
Yeah. You want me to read album facts? You got some facts? What do you got, Jerry?
We'll just set the scene of what was happening in March of 1995.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we can do
What
that.
else was going on?
The movies that came out, it was Outbreak and Major Pain, but the big ones are Usual Suspects. And
Outbreak was a good one.
I love that. Outbreak is appropriate now. That's why I put it there. And then Casino came out. So
Legit?
it's a real legit movie. But apparently these were big. This was a big day for like albums. I only got like 10.
Same release day?
Same release day or within the 3-day span.
Okay.
There's a Spin magazine article about this day being huge, and they had a bunch of other albums.
What'd they
Like,
have?
So ODB, this is my personal favorite. Old Dirty Bastard, Return to the 36 Chambers. Great album. Recommend it. Top 10 in my book. This is a band you don't like at all. Radiohead, The Bends came out that day.
Yeah, they can fuck off.
But Silverchair's Frog Stomp.
Sweet.
And then I put these two bands together because we talk about adult contemporary. These guys defined it. It was the Goo Goo Dolls, A Boy Named Goo, and then Collective Soul. And these two bands followed me my whole life. And I was like,
I never
"What the fuck?"
could tell you the difference between those bands back in the day.
That's what I'm saying.
A song came on the radio. I'm like, yeah, that's Goo Goo Dolls
I think
or
they did
that
one
other
for
band.
City of Angels. They did that. I don't want the
couldn't
world to
tell ya.
see me. That was a big one. Joan Osborne's Relish.
Love
we
it.
talked about that.
Love it.
Mud Honey's My Brother the Cow.
Fuck them.
And Skid Row's Subhuman Race came out on the 25th and 20th. I saved that for you.
I'm going to have to visit that album. I've never been a fan of it. I've hardly ever heard it.
It's in the timeline.
If you could believe it, as much as I love the first 2 Skid Row albums, and I really love them, I never got far into that last album, and it's an anomaly. It's the last album with Sebastian Bach on vocals, and Sebastian, like they tried to be more grunge, or they were maybe pressured to be more grunge.
But we talked about that was a phase that a lot of
Yeah.
these bands were going through.
And at that time, I remember Sebastian many years later when he was describing that time, he recalled feeling embarrassed about his vocals, like his pre-existing vocals, which is ridiculous because he's so off the charts, amazingly great of a singer. But stylistically now, that wasn't the popular thing.
Well, you think that? I mean, they were on top of the world.
They were killing it.
They were killing it, and then this came around, and now all of a sudden, what they were doing was passe.
Yeah.
That's got to be a terrible feeling.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. And so they made
why?
some probably half-hearted record, trying to be what they weren't.
Well, what are the names of the previous two albums?
The first one is self-titled. Second one is Slave to the Grind.
Slave to the Grind and Subhuman Race.
Yeah.
It just seems...
And it's like a real boring, stupid album cover. Everything about it,
That's insane.
Yeah.
And it just I can't believe a man like that would be ashamed of his voice. Because if I
With
sounded
a
like
voice
that...
like that, I would fucking kill for a voice like that. Oh, and let me tell you, I'm not going to give anything away due to privacy concerns, but I've gotten contacted by listeners of this show, let's say, specifically about Skid Row. And I am not joking.
All right.
I have opened eyes to Skid Row, and apparently it has taken hold. People are listening on their own and enjoying the fucking Skid Row.
Well, I'm glad. That
too.
was one of our finer episodes. The top hits on March 28th, 1995 were Take a Bow by Madonna, Creep by TLC, and This Is How We Do It by Montel Jordan.
Montel Jordan.
Good stuff. News Radio and Sliders premiered. Julia Roberts and Lyle Lovett split up. That was a thing. It's
unfortunate.
Eazy-E died on March 26th. And I only put this here. Oh, and then on March 21st, New Jersey officially dedicated the Howard Stern rest area. And then
King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime is the fifth studio album by San Francisco-based Faith No More, released on March 28, 1995 by Slash and Reprise Records. It was their first album recorded without longtime guitarist Jim Martin. The album showcased a greater variety than the band's usual heavy metal leanings, with Rolling Stone calling the result a genre shuffle. I never would have really categorized their pre-existing sound as heavy metal, but I guess I get it. Following Jim Martin's departure, Trey Spruance was brought on to perform on the album, having also been in Mr. Bungle with Mike Patton. Production of the album was further marred by the band suffering a car accident and by the absence of keyboard player Roddy Bottum, who was affected by the deaths of both his father and Kurt Cobain, whose asshole wife was his close friend. Spruance was replaced on the supporting tour by the band's former roadie Dean Menta, etc., etc. Critical reception of the album had been mixed, with varied genres being cited as a detraction by several reviewers. The album earned the band 2 Bay Area Music Award nominations. Finally, guitarist Jim Martin began skipping practice sessions with the band during the Angel Dust recording sessions. Having grown dissatisfied with their new direction, he also reportedly stopped writing new music at this time. He was later fired via fax. Via fax. By, I believe it was bassist Billy Gould.
Facts. It's loud.
Yeah, it's a hell of a 90s way to get fired.
It takes a long time to happen. You're just watching it go back.
Track number 1 is called Get Out. Oh.
They shit on Jim Martin. In interviews, they just shit all over him. This song felt, I didn't appreciate it at the time.
Yeah.
But then, like, come 6 years later, everyone sounded like this. Like, I thought this was ahead of the time.
They always were.
And it can't be said, and I'll say it once and I won't harp on it. The range of Mike Patton's voice.
Oh, yeah.
He can do everything.
Oh, he's on display on this album.
He is.
Boy. Wait, you guys, if you don't know this album yet, seriously, you are in for a wild, awesome ride.
Every song is just so different from the next one. It's very interesting. But yeah, he can do the absurd well. He can do serious well. He can do sad well. I mean, just he can put a mood out there to adjust his voice.
Yeah, they're
it's a rarity.
so good. Crazy, underrated band.
And when I was listening to interviews where they were just busting up Jim Martin.
Yeah.
Only because
Yeah.
he was just so lifeless at the end of Angel Dust. Like he didn't,
Yeah, I think he was more of a traditional metal guy. I think he just wanted to, he was a little freaked out by all their horse shit they were getting into.
And when they got Trey, it was such a big breath of fresh air apparently
For them.
For them because they could have a guitar player they could bounce things off of.
Yeah.
And Patton was familiar with it, so he did most of the way. Trey did most of the recording, right? And Dean did the touring because the Trey didn't want to tour.
Right.
And you can hear it in the guitar sound from previous albums. I won't say the name of the band again. But yeah. And Roddy Bottom was not on this album.
He's just mostly absent,
Because some of the best keyboard work is on this album.
Track 2, Ricochet. There's honestly, there's a bit of just a lack of keyboard stuff generally on this album.
There is, but some of the best. The fifth song is where I'm talking like there's some of the best, most well-timed music I've ever heard in my life. These are the only 2 songs I thought were samey. And they aged well.
Hell yeah.
Mike Patton still looks good. Billy Gold looks like, we could hang out.
Billy just doesn't even look like the same guy.
No.
Billy now and Billy when Faith No More came onto my radar, unrecognizable.
Yeah, he got older.
He got real old. He's all right. He does look okay. He doesn't look bad. He just looks not at all like the same guy.
Sensible haircut now.
Yeah.
Nice goatee.
I'd rather be shot through my face than hear what you're about to say.
As I was saying, like, every lyric can be dissected on this album.
It's a great one.
Yeah, I concur, though. Like, listening to us, listening to it, it's cool, and always do that. But seriously, just go out and listen to this without us yapping over it.
Do yourself a favor.
Contractually obligated to do.
If we don't talk, we don't get the big bucks.
Yeah, baby. 16 big dollars after everyone takes their cut. I just can't. I can't wait till we get to the lyric. Kick you. I just want to hear that. It's not on this song. You didn't know the Lyle Lovett, whatever her name was thing.
I knew they were together.
I always thought
I wouldn't have remembered 1995.
Julia Roberts. And always to me that was like, hey man, there's hope. Because I am oddly, weirdly attractive, and so like Lyle Lovett
Did
out
say
there.
you were cute though.
Yeah, in a weird way.
Weirder.
That's fine, in a married way. So but he was a hero to anyone who outkicked his coverage.
She did also say Joseph was actually kind of cute.
Yeah.
The expectation was that I wouldn't be. Like, what's up with that?
If anyone else listens to any other podcast and then they look at the guys who do the hosting, they're ugly.
Is that a thing? Are they?
Fuck you, other podcasts. We're the best looking and the number 1 podcast.
We're weirdly cute.
I'm weirdly attractive.
Yeah.
Like a puffin.
Yeah. Like a little puffin.
Little Jer. Little Jer's cute. Gnomish.
I had to include that one.
I appreciate it. You didn't include the one where the guy's like, fuck you, try harder.
Yeah.
Which I like too. That, and it seems to be the most inclusive of the. I mean, Angel Dust is great, but I think everyone was sort of finding themselves there.
Yeah,
because there was such a departure from Real Thing, and this feels more inclusive. Like everyone seems to have a say, and I'm not even before the interview, I was like, there's a lot of different songs on this.
Yeah.
And
I don't have all the. I didn't really dig into writing credits or anything. I don't really know about that stuff, but I know it sounds good as fuck.
Yeah. I love the album cover too. I always used to get it confused with the KMFDM album.
Similar vibe.
Very. It's a German Shepherd with and everything's red except for the German
it's like
Shepherd
a cop and a
It's
dog.
a cop and a dog.
But it's like a weird illustration.
KMFDM-ish, if you understand
Yeah.
what that means. Blocky.
Going on to track 3, Evidence.
My favorite song.
Favorite one?
One of my I think my favorite Faith No More song.
No shit.
I mean, I love
Yeah, this has a lot of shit that you're into. Yeah.
jazzy, man. Smooth.
Yeah, this is a real good one.
I mean, I heard this and it blew my mind.
Yeah, they are smooth, man.
They
They wanted to
can.
be fucking smooth. They could kill it.
We talked about No Doubt just being so like accomplished musician. These are guys who are forged.
Yeah, these are masters
They're
here.
formed. Yeah, this whole thing. No one's overstepping their bounds either. You don't have Mike Patton doing stupid shit. It's just everyone's doing it right. What does he say there, though? Never really. Piece to the circumstance. That's right. This part, I love this part.
Wash it away.
That's fucking awesome.
So good.
Damn it.
You got that jazz guitar in the background now.
Everything's so good. Billy Gould's fucking subtle bass.
It's harmony. It's perfect. I want to cry. This lyric too, like I didn't feel a thing. You didn't mean nothing. It's biting.
Testify.
I'd love to see this live. You've seen these guys live before, haven't you?
I saw him live in '98, and then I saw him live just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, 2015, I think, right?
Awesome both times. No, Sid, no, after 2015.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You won't feel me.
Yeah, after this, they sort of fell off the album. Not this album, but like they made other albums that were,
They made one album after this,
Yeah.
album of the year in '98, I think it came out maybe, and then they broke up.
I don't remember a lot of albums of the year, to be honest.
We'll get there.
3 more years.
Testify.
Floating away. I can't make any of those noises with anything I do in my life. Can't do it.
It's so wild that they can be so good at so many different things.
Genres. They said genre.
They just
for
go
this.
style for style, just being weird.
If they
doing
did a
shit.
whole album like this,
It'd be
it would have
great.
gone platinum. They would have been up there with John Tesh, who I'm gonna keep on bringing up on this podcast. John Tesh.
Is he alive?
I'm sure he is. He has the power of Christ.
That's
He can't be killed. He's also like a giant. He's like 7 feet tall or something.
Yeah, he's large.
He was in Entertainment Tonight with some banging blonde chicks every time.
Disgusting.
They were hot.
Disgusting.
Entertainment Weekly.
Don't
Entertainment
judge
Tonight.
women like that.
No?
You fucking
All right.
misogynist.
They were weirdly attractive.
I didn't feel a thing.
simple as that keyboard stab. They could have done so much more, and they would have ruined it. Just making it right.
Beautiful.
Trey, Dean, whoever.
Track 4, The Gentle Art of Making Enemies. They will kick you. Don't fuck it up, Jerry. This is a great song. Billy Gould's bass sounds fucking gnarly right here. They're wild.
If you don't make a friend now, one might make you. So learn the gentle art of making enemies.
Don't you look so surprised? Happy birthday, fucker!
Good birthday, fucker.
You blow that candle out, we're gonna kick you, kick you. Don't say you're not because you are. Don't say you're not because you are. It's a reason that you are. It's a reason that you are. Well, all I need is just one more excuse. Call Jay!
How many times has this song changed? This is beautiful. So cool.
Your very best excuse. I never felt this much alive. I never felt this much alive.
Right into something else. The only band that can tolerate time changes like that. Suit wears you.
This year you'll sit and take it, and you will like it. It's the gentle art of making.
You'll sit and take it. You like. I don't know if this really. I don't want to talk.
Oh, this part's great.
Because I'm the best fuck that you ever had. And if I tighten up my hole, you may never see the light again.
He's so crazy.
There's always an easy way out. There's always an easy way out.
They let him be that creative. Like the band could have been like, "What, yo, dude? This is what I'm talking about. The crazy Mike Patton shit." They could have been like, "Yo, just sing it right.
Sing it right.
Just sing it right." Yeah. No. I'm
Like as awesome, like we're talking about these guys are masters, they can do all this shit, which is 100% true. These guys they are just the fucking creative musical elite, really. However, you take Patton out of this band,
I don't know.
you lose a lot.
You lose personality.
Yeah.
Like a lot of personality. Like they weren't as quirky.
Like, what's your second favorite band that Roddy Bottom is in? You know?
I'll take it.
Like, I'll sing Billy Gould's praises all day long. I love him. One of my favorite bass players. One of my favorite bass tones. I used to chase his tone. That was like what I was after. I wanted to model myself after that dude. I don't give a fuck about a single other thing he does. Like, I just don't.
Yeah, he's sort of like the soul of it.
Yeah.
And
it's his band.
It wasn't though. I mean, in the first real thing, it really wasn't him. He was just filling in.
No, Billy Gould.
Oh, Billy Gould. Oh, yeah, it's his.
Yeah. Track
this?
5, Star AD.
This exciting horns, man. More of that.
Yeah, this is great.
And I don't.
God, every song's so great.
It's so different. And I don't want to. I can't. You can hear where I think he had a lot of say in this.
Oh yeah.
This part,
yeah.
This is previous bands. This is everything that he just does. Horns are in it. I love horns.
Billy's bass.
Yeah.
So good.
God, this must have been cool live. If you see this live. And a predecessor to that big band swingish type sound that got real big 3 years later.
Yeah, later 90s.
Yeah, 3 years later. Was it Squirrel Nutzippers with Hell and Zoot Suit Riot.
Yeah. cherry poppin' daddies.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
That was a thing. It took over like for 3 months and then it stopped.
Yeah, thankfully. And like we just heard him be smooth as fuck on Evidence and some of Gentle Art of Making Enemies, and he'll do it here too. But then he just mid-line will go insane and just sound fucked up.
Yeah.
Like not even like he starts screaming, but he just sounds fucked up
On purpose.
It's ridiculous,
And he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah, he's ridiculous, and it's hilarious and
fun.
amazing.
You know, and that's what it's fun. There's a lot of passion in this because it's somebody who's just being, like you said, creatively elite. That no one's going to tell them what
He's
to do.
just doing
And listen,
what
they
he
got-
wants to do.
Everyone's doing it. You got what is this? Clanging in
listen.
background. Yeah, just go into it.
He's great.
And you have to pay people to do some of this shit. So they had to go to like they had to go to somebody and say like, I need a saxophone player, and they paid a studio musician to come in and do it. But like you don't know what you're getting out of it. This has a Tonight Show type feel. This part at least, not this. There's not. I think we talked about this with Angel Dust, where he said like, "Oh, let's leave it in, leave everything in." You know, and these aren't short songs. This is a long album. Would you feel Muppets?
Yeah, dude. I can definitely see Muppets.
I see Muppets
Yeah,
when I hear
dude.
this shit.
Yeah. Animal freaking out.
Animal, you got Sir Tooth. What was his name?
Yeah, dude. Even Beaker rocking out. Beaker'd be losing his fucking mind.
Beaker. Beaker didn't have a neck.
Or he only had a neck.
Yeah.
Track 6. This is oddly Cuckoo for Caca.
Metal too. This is the metal song on this.
Cuckoo for Caca.
And to listen to the lyrics of it, they're deep.
It's something.
This violates every sense. This album does. You know, people will talk about it. They won't say it. When they drive a car and it rumbles, they won't tell them that it tickles their ass and balls. And that's why they like it. I know that's weird to say, but that's why people like the low rumble and the noise and all the effects. It's a visceral, sexual, aggressive motion. And this album does that. And it also puts you to sleep. You can take a bath to some of these songs. Or you can drive fast. And would you... Like, do you think this type of eclectic sound and all that stuff might have hurt them? Like if they were just looking to be a successful band, like look at Nirvana.
Yes.
Nirvana had a sound and then they ran with
of course,
it.
yeah.
These guys could have probably been,
It definitely hurt their potential for commercial success.
Yes.
Absolutely.
and they never seem to care.
Sometimes a band is just what they are. And thank goodness for them.
Yeah, this
Thank
works.
goodness for them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to hear a watered down, striving for commercial viability version of Faith No More. I wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't want that either.
You know,
But
we call that Incubus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
we
I still love that song. I love
well, I mean, like,
Science.
you know, later.
Yeah. Then
The album that we listened to from Incubus, Science, is, I think, their creative peak.
and then they went downhill after that.
Yes.
I didn't like Drive. But we talked. This came out the same time as the Goo Goo Dolls,
Yeah.
which to me seems so produced.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, the Goo Goo Dolls and that type of shit is wallpaper. And this, you could love it or hate it, but it is not wallpaper.
no, and it was the band. Goo Goo Dolls were the band that I most likened to live for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I read Goo Goo Dolls, I was like, that's what I was searching
Same
for.
kind of, yeah.
Collective Soul live.
Yeah, yes.
You know, Goo Goo Dolls. Old Dirty Bastard.
Yeah.
I wish I could put one album on this podcast, and that would be it.
Old Dirty
That
Bastard.
or Ghostface Bulletproof Wallets.
Really?
Yeah. You know what I like. I listen to that on my own. I would like to hear your opinion on some of these things.
So cough it up or go down.
Cough it up or go down.
The only ones waiting. Separation.
And he can still do this today. Like, he's doing the thing I'm gonna end up doing with my hair thins, where you Mike
Slick it
Patton,
back.
slick it back as hard as you fucking can. Yeah. Mike Patton definitely has that look. But the interviews you got in '95 to the 2015 interviews, again, like I said, it's many years later.
Oh, shit.
He's a friendlier
Winding
guy
up here.
vastly more friendly. Leave it in. That's fine. No, just no take. One take. Go.
Take it from our drummer, Puff. Being good, it gets you.
And it took him.
That's my favorite part.
Just stops.
Listen to our drummer Puff. Being good, it gets you stuff. Mike Borden, the drummer's nickname was always Puffy. They call him Puffy. Listen to take it from our drummer Puff. That's what he says. Take it from our drummer Puff.
When you play
Being good,
Being good.
it gets you stuff.
And it ends.
Oh, here we go. Track 7, Carallo Voador.
Again, you think you have an idea. You just don't.
Carallo Voador.
Lacates.
Exactly.
Boudreaux.
Cargio.
Pete.
Listen to these motherfuckers.
I'm going to go and get me some.
My lips are moving, but there's no sound.
Some bands will say like every song's good. They're my children.
Yes.
This is true.
Yeah,
In this
this is great.
case, every song is a new and different child. If you are a parent, you understand. They're different people. Listen to that.
I could definitely listen to an album of Faith No More doing this.
Oh my god, all day.
Hell yeah.
Give me more of it.
I could listen to an album of Faith No More doing pretty much any of their Faith No More shit. Like, really.
Yeah.
Não posso dirigir e agora aparece.
God, I need to learn how to learn. It'd be funny. I'm at taking a Rosetta Stone just to find out what he's saying. They did the Schützenfuss song on The Angel does. I mean, when they speak different languages, it's all right in my book.
Lips are moving, but there's no
There needs to be, you probably do have a good 35 minutes of them doing something like this if you took it from every album.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, no, not 35,
Not
maybe
that
20,
much, but
20
a good
minutes.
bit. They got some chunks.
I'd take 20 minutes.
Hell yeah.
my lips.
Midlife Crisis sort of goes there. Maybe it's a little bit. No.
And they do, like, the cover songs, like, the way they do shit's so good.
Somebody's gonna get to run down. Gonna get to run down.
Mike Borden, the drummer, Puff, he's one of my favorite drummers, especially in the live context. I really love watching him play the drums. First of all, he sets his drum set up in a way that I cannot relate to on any level. I don't understand how he plays his drums. He uses, so if you're no drum kits at all, he has rack toms, you know. He plays giant rack toms that are mounted in such a way that they are totally vertical. Like the heads are completely on the top. They are mounted high and they are large. Like it looks like the most inappropriate place to put a drum. Like how can you reach that in a way that is reasonable? But he is the most consistently hard-hitting drummer ever, probably. Like every stroke looks like he's trying to just demolish the drum kit.
But having it high looks like it would limit power.
Yeah, I mean, this motherfucker. I remember back in the day, Roland, the electronic musical instruments company, they started making these really nice electronic drum kits called V drums. They're still around to this day. They're always upgrading them. And I remember back in the day, they used to have Mike Borden come in to test them for like durability. Like, are these like playable, like real drums? And he would just come in and fuck them up. And they'd be like, all right, we got to really work on this. We got more work to do here in this department. He was the guy.
That's a little extra jing, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could listen to this all day. And every song, it's okay to end the album.
We're going into track 8, Ugly in the Morning. Good one. Weird one.
when can you say that about anything on this album? Truly one of the most unique and exciting albums we're ever going to do on this show. And Mike, sing Far Away and threw an effect?
You did one thing wrong.
What's
you
that?
woke up. That's what he said.
There's so much reality in this. I mean, I can't say it right. Reality. But again, you come back. Love is a Fist. I mean, Mr. Bungle album. They have a ton of reasons. I mean, Stub a Dub, the song about his dog dying. It's time to wipe your butt sliding down Butt Hill. I mean, it really hurt him. He cries at the end of the song and shit. You know, like this man holds nothing sacred, but yet, yet it sort of feels like he does. It's weird. Like it's so based in reality and how absurd everything can be.
Yeah.
I sort of like to look at life like that. Like, Carrie Fisher said, like, if life wasn't funny, then it wouldn't be true, and I can't live that way.
Right.
And Faith No More, Mike Patton maybe in himself just sort of follows that. Except for Peeping Tom, I didn't like that album. I didn't like anything Peeping Tom.
It's been a while. I'll have to go back to that one.
There's maybe one or two songs. Fantomas I was okay with.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love every album Mike Patton makes, but I love a lot of shit.
I do too. It's always different, that's for sure.
And oddly, I mean, Faith No More is his most normal musical project. We're talking about how weird and fucked up this shit is. It's his most normal shit.
Oh, yeah. And now that he has a little clout, like on Peeping Tom, I know, he brought Norah Jones in. And she was not used at all really correctly. You know, I mean, it was just hey, come in and sing
Listen to
fucker.
this crazy fuck. Don't look at me. I'm ugly in the morning.
Here's a little taste of System of a Down, you know?
Pre-System of a Down.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. This was so forward.
Yeah, this band influenced a shitload of bands.
Even the band you were in at one point almost sounded a lot like Faith No More.
By the time that band came to be, Faith No More had been long broken up,
Yeah.
you know, for a few years at least. And in my mind, we were going to be like, we were going to carry the torch.
Yeah.
You know, we were going to bring this kind of fire. Didn't work out in the long run.
Well, here, this can be done live. I've seen live performances.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Bungle, they wore masks. It was sort of fucked up. You couldn't really do it. But
Just listen to him.
yeah, he can do this.
Jesus.
And you can sing that anyway, and it will come off okay live.
Track number 9, Digging the Grave.
Closest thing to a single.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a single from this album. They had a music video
Again,
for
normal.
it. Yeah. It's just kind of a rocker.
It's a rocker. We talk about what songs should be singles.
Yeah.
I think they did themselves a disservice by picking this one as
I guess it was just the most palatable, normal choice. Who knows?
I mean, it's a great song.
It's
even
the most
still.
normal song, maybe.
It is. Evidence was a single, or that was a CD single. I remember seeing that. I don't know if it got played on the radio. Can you imagine being a record executive and being like, okay, I need hits, guys, come on.
Good luck, brother.
And you listen to the whole thing, and you're like, is there any way you can do it right? Just sing it right.
Redo.
Redo this whole thing. Not influenced by anybody. I want to find a negative because we've been creaming over this the whole time. There's not a lot of negatives on this album. You know, it also defied the sound of the time.
Yeah.
Like they could have fallen into a trap where they're influenced by your Nirvanas, by your Soundgardens, by whoever was making money back then.
I just had a glimpse at the track list here. I was like, all right, well, what are the shittier songs toward the end? This is an album where at different phases over its lifetime since it came out and to recent years, I've had phases where I loved portions of the album. Like there were early years where I loved the first half the best, and then years where I thought the second half is where it's at, and like all over the map. I love it all. And it reminded me of an album like Bad Motorfinger, Soundgarden, where maybe, it's hard to say with this album, but maybe the more obvious like songs are the first half, and the second half are the more subtle textures, but every bit as good.
Yeah.
You just maybe they don't slap you in the face as quickly. But the songs that close out this album, we're on track 9 right now out of 14.
14, yeah.
And the last bunch of songs I fucking love. Maybe it took me longer to love them, but I love them.
I didn't hate any of the part of this album when I was a kid because it was so close to what I liked.
Yeah.
And this song, I would have probably say the first 2 songs in this, I'd probably like, I could do without. I'm all right. But I still like them.
Yeah.
But we talked about, I'll let the next one come in.
Track 10. Take This Bottle. This is a great
fucking
song,
dude.
Oh man, this album is fucking killer.
Bad Motorfinger was an appropriate comparison because you get to the regular hits and all that stuff, or do you like them flexing and just doing what they comes naturally, and that's what the last part of that album is.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe it's similar.
And this is just people doing whatever the hell they want for 14 fucking songs, and doing it right.
I can wait for you.
Almost a country's feel to it,
Far away, I'll treat you better.
Like the guy can do anything.
He can sing
so
anything in
crazy.
the world. I mean,
He can do anything.
I know he made his money, but he
should get more.
He needs more
He
money.
deserves more.
Join Mike Patton's Patreon.
Yeah, geez, Mike.
Yeah. Do you have a $200 level? I'll pay for it. Can I be on the Zoom?
Gosh,
I'll request an album
this
from Mike.
guy is superhuman.
Take this bottle.
And just at the core of everything, there's all of this musicianship and technical ability and Mike's wild creativity, and there's an ever-present sort of sense of humor in there, sometimes prominently,
Right.
and sometimes in a more dry kind of way, but always there.
It's
It's
playful.
so great.
Would I say this is a band as intense as Pearl Jam? No, they're not.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if
totally
you
way
really
different. Way different.
Way different. They're trying to deal with their issues or whatever. This is just looking at yourself flawed and recognizing it and then vomiting it on the rest of the world. And I will forever love Mike Patton for that.
Yeah.
Like, he makes you feel comfortable. I mean, and people forget. I know it's going to sound weird. Early Mike Patton Mike Patton all the way through is a good-looking guy.
Oh yeah.
Never
He's
played
handsome.
off of
I mean,
that.
he got a little weird in these later years. He looks a little weird.
Oh, he looks
but
like
I mean, he's weird.
Well, yeah, he's a weird dude. There was a rumor of him going around, but he likes to fuck furniture. There was a rumor like,
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but he is a weirdo.
I just can't. I top 5 performer. I mean, you put Justin Timberlake and Mike Patton next to each other. If they ever did a duet, I'd be like, "Ooh, that's entertainment personified."
Hell yeah. I'd listen.
Don't judge me for putting Timberlake next to Mike Patton. Just be a good song. I know it.
And just walk away.
After this show, have you ever listened to California, the Bungle album?
It's been ages.
Pink Cigarette.
Been ages.
The one where he counts down his suicide is some of the best vocalization I've ever heard in my life.
I can wait until love in heaven. I can wait for you. Take this bottle walk away. Take this bottle.
I mean, if they just took it seriously, this could have been a Don't Cry.
Yeah.
They could have written this and that in their sleep.
This bottle.
They just tried harder. They could have had patience. You know,
This was
a
their
Bon
deal,
Jovi
man.
song. What is the Bon
This was their
Jovi with
deal,
it?
man. This shit was just.
The fucking what's the Bon Jovi song where people are fucking in the hotel? What is that one? There's a really nice Bon Jovi song, and a ballad of sorts. I forget what it is off the top of my head. The video is of Unrequited Love. It's two kids fucking in a hotel.
Nice.
Terrible. I hate the way I described it. Good song though.
Sure it was.
I just don't know what it is.
Sure, it's great. You're gonna look up Bon Jovi kids fucking.
No, I know I have an idea what the song is. Bon Jovi. That'd be terrible.
Let me fuck up an Almond Joy here while we're at it.
Oh, I always or I'll be there for you. I don't know which one.
All right.
Blaze of Glory. It was not.
Blaze of Glory. That's a great one.
That's a great
I
movie.
love that.
I love
that
I
jam,
actually-
though.
I love both Young
That's a
Guns
good jam.
movies.
I ain't afraid to say it.
No, fucking Blaze of Glory is fucking awesome.
We're coming into track 11 now.
Runaway,
I
too.
suppose it's the title track, King for a Day. Good jam.
I think this is the first entry of acoustic.
Maybe. Wild sound of bass there, too. Love it.
Bon Jovi, two kids fucking. What were you doing? Just doing research for the podcast. I can't even sing like this. I can't make that sound good.
This is the best party that I've ever been to.
Using an accent and everything. Still sounds okay.
Today I asked for a God to put some wine in my eyes.
I don't know.
Today I asked for someone to shake some salt in my life.
He'll open up here.
Look at the things that be on the ground. Never cared for you now.
Now they're doubling his voice because they
Probably,
can't
yeah.
really can't have a backup singer.
Oh, sure, yeah. He layers his vocals. Everybody does that.
I think it's cheap. Sometimes rappers it's cheap. I think there's two things that make a hit song with rapping.
It's about making a full sounding production.
I understand it, but for rapping, for when a hip hop, I find it cheating.
Yeah.
Because you can have two things that make a hit song. Oh, three things. If you have Nate Dogg, that's one. That's number
Sure.
one. But you can't. He's dead
God
now.
rest
So
his soul.
is the doubling the vocals and just the standard clap beat.
I love
If you
a clap.
research it, if you research
My
it,
new band, well, phew, man.
research it.
my
A lot of
old
hip hop.
band now.
I mean, in the club and all that stuff.
Yeah.
All
My
sound-
band, more than ever, I started using a lot of claps, auxiliary percussion,
Yeah.
little like
Claps.
tambourines, claps, shit like that. I was all about it.
Claps will get you immediate hit. I'm
It
convinced
gets-
of it.
It just helps make the ass shake, you know?
Yes, sir. That's the name of the game, ain't it? You can't eat it if they don't move their feet.
Hell yeah.
Look everything's spinning, we're on the ground.
Every song is built for live performance too. Like if you just have like a 4-colored light system,
Yeah.
that's all you need with any of these things. The music, it just speaks for itself. You don't need a show to do it. But you've seen them. Do they put on like a elaborate stage show?
Well, the last time I saw them, it was kind of wild. Everything was white. They were wearing white head to toe. The whole set was white. The stage, the instrument, like their amps, everything was white with just shitloads of colorful flowers everywhere. Everywhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
The
wild.
Riders and terrible.
Yeah,
the
they
Riders
didn't go.
are-
They didn't go crazy with like lights or that type of stuff, but just the set.
It's impossible
was
to
wild.
film too.
It's really funny.
With the camera phone, you couldn't film it.
Yeah.
It would just be
Yeah, well, look it up.
blur.
On their last tour, they that's what they were doing. All white with flowers.
And that's the type of that speaks to me, man.
They
Like, if
came
this-
out, I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Like if this ever, like if the grunge ever or anything we ever did took off, you'd have to realize what it is what it is. These guys see themselves. I'm telling you, this is the most grounded band ever because they know what they're doing, and they're not pretentious. And that's why I love them. That's what I didn't like Pearl Jam for many years. Is pretentious. Is how pretentious I thought they were.
Just a whole different vibe, you know?
No, thank God I'm 43 and realized I was wrong.
Yeah.
Vitology has taught me all of that.
This is the best party I've been to. He sounds so thrilled.
How do you not laugh?
crazy.
You're playing this like you're going nuts on this.
Best party I've ever been to.
Help me out of here! There's none of that.
Listen to this part. Don't let me die with that silly look in my eyes.
You can. There's a lyric again on California that makes me. A song called Retro Vertigo that brings tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
It says staring into glassy eyes, mesmerized. And it's like the only lyric where I'm like, he means it. It's not like this is the best party I've ever been to. He's crying. Listen to that acoustic guitar going.
All right, fuck it. Let's play When to Change.
Wow. I would be shocked. You have a very low tolerance for some no attention span.
I love this shit.
Yeah. I love that Winds of Change is the hammer that just executes the things that we hate so much. The axe. Now it's Leonard Cohen dark. He even keeps saying it. It keeps getting scarier. Perfection. Exquisite.
Track number 12 coming up. What a day.
How do they keep doing this?
Love this. Oh, yeah, this is a banger. Kill the body and the head will die. Fuck you, I love it.
Oh, that's so cool. I love episodes like this where it's like, it's just us going, yeah. Next week, the Beavis and Butthead emails come in.
Fuck 'em. If you can look it in the face and hold your vomit. Hi, Mike.
into it, man. You know what? This kind of music has extended the high too. Like, I fall out of getting high real quick. Like, I've been like on a fucking ride with this thing.
Oh man, track 13 of 14, The Last to Know.
Flexing.
This one took me a little while. I remember years and years ago. I wasn't so into it, and then it became like a highlight of the album.
Or to me, it's him just yelling over his own band
It's subtle,
and
man.
and just trying to get over them. And they're competing to me.
It has that soaring vibe,
Yeah.
you know?
It's just everyone is trying so hard to be better than the next man. This is what it means to me. It's competition, and this one means. God, I'm high. I'm using words out of order and shit. Like what the fuck was in that? This is great. Oh, will it ever get better than this? This bad Motorfinger, fucking 96 is gonna suck.
There's some good shit.
Alright.
Some good shit. We still got a nice little chunk of 95 left to go. We've been riding in 95 for a bit.
I think it's a high water, the high water mark of the scene. Everyone
Yeah.
has started releasing music at this point.
Yeah, well, and we've been listening to more stuff.
There's that.
Yeah.
And we have to revisit. I think we should revisit 92, 93,
Maybe
94.
so.
This was some
I
other
mean, we've been
stuff.
doing random stuff. We put out you guys last week, I guess it'll be. You guys got an extra episode on the main feed. We
Yeah.
did a classic album, Holy Diver. That was a fucking
That was
totally, that was from what 83 that
Yeah.
was or something. 82, 83.
I didn't know we were doing an episode on that album.
Yeah.
On that album, and I thought I was just explaining.
I just want to make it clear
Falling
with
into a
the
toilet.
release of that episode, a classic album. It ain't grunge. It's not even in the timeline. It's a complete. We're doing
I think
what we want to do.
on Friday. Yeah, I think there should be some license. Our favorite album should at least be covered. I mean, we're both doing this.
Yeah, but fuck.
And who the fuck's listening? I mean, I do put myself in a mind state that other people are here.
Yeah.
That's what this big ring means to me.
Right.
Like when it's off, I'm like, now it's just me and you.
Right.
Like to me, this is everyone listening to us, listen to this great fucking album. And we already know the grade. We'll wait till we get to that point. But we already know what this is going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is for me at least the best.
I love this progression. It's that subtle little vocal melody and inflection that he has in this track that for me sells it. It's such a subtle thing. He's not doing anything wild. It's just a little, I don't know. There's something about
when
this shit he's doing here.
When he's in this tone,
Yeah.
I appreciate it more because it's more than the other ones, but like his that freak out.
I mean,
he
if he just wanted to be a really nice,
crooner.
good singer, he could be that.
He could be that. He could be a crooner. He could be a rock. He could be a standard hair metal band rock star.
He could definitely make thrash
He
albums.
could make thrash albums. This guy is a Swiss Army knife of talent.
Yeah.
We talk about Chris Cornell being some god MC, with the best.
Yeah.
But he can't help himself.
Yeah.
Chris Cornell was just a really good singer, and he could move it around. But this type of
Chris Cornell was just born a rocket ship. And he was just on.
And like when we talk, what is that? A brother. He had to be stopped.
Yeah.
This guy is so dynamic. He has earned at a young age, I respected this guy.
Yeah, he's definitely super high all-time lead singers for me as well.
Even if he's your bottom 5, you just know that he can do everything.
Yeah.
And it sucks that you have to realize that if you hate this guy.
Yeah.
Enter 15 minutes of a train stopping.
Our final track, guys, it's called Just a Man.
And to me, it's a big fuck you. It's not really
It's a
like a
great jam.
good song. It's just like, hey, man, it's over, and you just did it.
This one, particularly, that last third of this song, you really see Mike in this whole song. You see him flex these different things. He's doing this vibe. He'll open up a bit. It's all great. And then at the end, you're just like, "Yep, that's Mike Patton being a Mike Patton."
This is the end
listen to that.
of it. This is an end. This is a movie credit rolling scene. What have you just been through?
It's so beautiful.
So structured so well.
The star is out. I will not touch you. I am just a man. Sky is clean.
Do you think in a lot of these, and we've been listening to Faith No More for quite some time, they're only like, it's weird, it's very close. It's very, I'm gonna say something far away, but it's closer than you want it to be. They're about a half a mile from Polka.
They can be. They can be. Yeah. At moments.
If you wanted to turn something up, one thing up, they would be Polka.
They do veer into some fucking gospel territory.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Like soul. Yeah. Can you be one of his five characters?
Yeah.
Mike Patton. Pronouns.
That bass just never quits
No.
from Billy Gold.
Billy Gold. Everyone. It's keyboard work. Not killing it. You listen to some 80s songs where they will fucking murder you with the keyboard. This is where it needs to be. I'm trying to think who does a keyboard well. The Fix.
I almost had a fucking heart attack last night freaking out about Robert Palmer.
Yeah, you were. This is a bad motherfucker.
I was in love with Robert Palmer.
Hey, you called me up. You look like Robert Palmer. I was like, yeah, thanks,
dude.
man. I was so and Robert Palmer is weirdly attractive.
Hell yeah.
The models. You said they were like weird looking to you. I
It's
looked at
just a weird vibe, you know?
Yeah.
But it's great.
It's a fever dream.
Yeah.
Especially no one's playing instruments, nothing's plugged in, their nails are done, you know, it's just a different beast.
Man was born to love.
Man.
Often
Just rattle that
sought,
bass, Billy.
like Icarus, to fly too high, and far too lonely than he ought, to kiss the sun of east and west, and hold the world at his behest, to hold the terrible power to whom only gods are blessed. But me, I am just a man.
Yeah, listen to this shit.
Take me there.
Mike's about to fall off the hook.
Yeah, well, this isn't gonna last. You want it to. If it ended this way, you'd be like, yeah!
You couldn't just leave well enough
Can't
alone.
leave well enough alone. This is how it should have stopped. Fucking choirs and shit. There we go.
He's just gotta.
That's passion, man. Ah, the spirit's in me, man. Testify.
And there we go.
Just so good. The way to end it.
All right. King for a day, fool for a lifetime, Jerry.
Exquisite.
Yeah. That's really something else, that fucking album.
The way it's
There's not a crapper on there.
There's not a shitty song on there.
Not a crapper in sight.
The album is, you can't even really structure it. Like we thought about like good structure. We flipped the Dio song last time, and then it made it I think almost a better album because I tried it the other way, and it's just you can't sequence this.
Yeah,
this is every song is so different.
Yeah,
so good. Like I don't know where else to go.
Yeah,
with
I mean honestly, if you,
like it's my opinion.
If I have to sit here and like find a criticism or complaint or weak spot, I really don't know.
That went on for about 2 stanzas too long. I think they did that on purpose. Like, whereas,
I don't mind.
But that's
like, there's not a song on there I want to delete. There's not a fucking anything.
No.
You know, I love it all.
I can't. Yeah, I mean, this is as close to a perfect album.
Yeah,
that for me. And again, you know me, my tastes. Yeah. This was always going to be that way.
An A?
You called me
what it is.
It's an A+ for me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know whatever that means. Yeah, I don't have a complaint.
You called me today. I was like, "What album are you doing?" So I had to look up. Fuck, I had one of the notes was that somebody poisoned a bunch of people in China with sarin. I was like, I didn't want to start off that way. But like, what album am I doing today? You know, and then you told me that. I was like, "Ooh, okay, good." And we didn't even talk about it. I was like, "Okay, see you." You know, it was like I was so happy.
Yeah.
But I forgot what it's again. I very rarely listen to headphones. Mostly car stuff. So hearing this album in headphones.
That's nice.
And neither one of us really talked a lot. I think I talked the most out of this album. Yeah. You were just singing.
Yeah.
Enjoying it. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. This is a top.
Guys,
top
really,
band.
really do yourself a favor. Go listen to this, man. Faith No More, King for a Day. You should really give it some spins. This thing is out of control. So good. Put on the headphones. Light a candle. Get yourself a little mystified in the brain and dig into this fucking wild ride.
Normally I say like do your dishes and shit like that. I would say do exactly what Joseph just said. Joseph just said have a dimly lit room and
just make the effort. Pay attention to it is really what we're getting at. We're saying some active listening is what this album deserves.
Layers upon layers. Yeah. If you don't like the music, you're going to love the lyrics.
And it's a lot of fun.
It's so much fun.
I mean, this is a fun album. We like so many different albums for so many different reasons. Alice in Chains has this vibe, and
Doom,
and all these bands have these vibes, and even though they all have varying levels of versatility, different ranges of things that they can do and do well. This album is just so much fun to listen to. It's just, especially as a new listener, you don't even know what the fuck's coming at you next. We're kind of familiar with it. We've heard it. And so we're like, yeah, I love this jam. But like, oh my gosh, listen to this jam for the first time in your life. I'm jealous of somebody that gets to do that.
You're being reborn and you're going to be punch drunk at the end. Like, there's not one thing you can say. I mean, if the evidence is on this, anything slow on this album is a masterclass. And if you can practice any of these, I imagine as a musician practicing being, you have to listen to songs, you try to emulate it.
Yeah,
it's hard with this.
Well,
man.
and what makes all of, we talk about each of these little different weird flavors that Faith No More gets into. They do this vibe and that vibe and that vibe. Every one of them, while cool, its coolness is accentuated by the other shit they do. When they're doing a song like fucking, I don't know, Caffeine or something dark and crazy like on Angel Dust, and then we hear, Evidence. Evidence screams out so much more because it's so different. All these things, you're like, holy fuck, how did the band that did that do that?
Right.
And do them both so good?
And losing a guitarist, a really good guitarist.
Yeah, hardly slowed him down.
Didn't stop him at all. Made him better.
Like Jim Martin was a legit contributor to that band. Like, it's not like he was a fucking pointless member.
Right.
He was a significant member early on. And for him to be gone and they still do this, fuck you, man. That's fucking...
It's greatness.
It's shocking. They're amazing. Truly an amazing, underrated band that should go down amongst the very best in the annals of rock and roll history.
The only thing left is Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Sadly, I doubt they'll ever get that, but boy, they should.
Put no faith in that institution, by the way.
Boy, they should get that.
They really should.
You know, whatever that means. They just should have as much recognition to as many people as possible. Like, people should be aware of these records and get them and fucking tell your friends.
And what are the odds of Mike Patton not wearing anything that would be fitting? Just another one of his band shirts. Like, it would be cool if he went in and he was wearing a Fantoma shirt to a Faith No More's Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah, one can't put anything past the guy.
No.
Well, thank you, everyone. Visit thegrungepodcast.com. Send us the money and send us pics, right? Anything else?
Yeah, send me pics, especially the one people who are critical of other people's looks. Just send pics. Let's look at you.
Yes.
Let's
see what you look like. Okay,
yeah, send
Danny.
me a video.
Danny, did I just make that up? Was it Danny?
Oh, I'm not talking to her exclusively.
I am. Danny, send us pics. Okay, well, we'll see you soon, everybody. Don't be a square.